Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm so sorry for coming late. So we can start now. How was our day? I hope it went fine. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Josh. Good evening, Babatunde. Good evening, Oyewole, Adesola. Good evening. I hope your day was fine. Mine was fine, although it was stressful. Yes, you are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. Let me know where you are watching from. If you're watching in Portugal, let me know. If you're watching in from Nigeria, let me know. Okay. So without wasting much of our time, because I know we all are going to school tomorrow. We all are going for work tomorrow, and we need to will I say trash or treat this issue because some people received their result yesterday, and I saw a whole lot of DMs, and I'm like, no, I must do this video today so that we can, when we put heads together, we can bring out we can do something. Two heads are better than one. That's just what I feel. Okay, so without wasting much of our time, I don't know how many persons applied to University of Algarve because their results came out yesterday. And if you have any question, you can put it in the comment section. I will answer them as I see them. And also, after 20 minutes, two, two persons are allowed to come up and join me on live. I can, two persons can join me and we go from there. So if you have any question, you can put it down. So let's talk about this Algav. Yes, I made video when the school started the application, and I showed us some of their pros and cons. Okay, and some people yielded while some people had already submitted, and there was nothing they could do. Yes, I don't know how many persons got their results. It would really, really help. Yes, because I received DMs, a whole lot, a lot of them saying, oh, BioBA, I was admitted but not placed. Yes, today we are going to talk about it, and we are going to see reasons why people were, they said admitted but not placed. Okay, welcome, Latoya. Thank you so much for joining. Emioye, thank you so much. Okay, so let me talk about business management. So I'll be watching the comment section to see your question, but I have to be talking so that I'll be looking at the comment section. So if you see me looking up, I have two screens in front of me. So I'll be looking down, I'll be looking up sideways also. So I noticed something at the Department of Business, um, um, at the Department of Management, and I quickly pointed a lot of us to it. I made a video regarding that. In that video, oh God, I had result of admitted but no vacancy. Okay, Josh, I'm going to talk about it. Okay, so I pointed a whole lot of us to that clause at the end of their, what will I say, their rules, or um, who can apply. Yes, there is a clause there. They wrote out, if your school is not among times, um, I've forgotten the name, like where they check ratings of the school. And I pointed a whole lot of us that look at this clause. With this clause, they are going to use it to grade. So I don't know if some people looked at it, but I'm sure it would save some people their application fee, because If they put your school and your school is not there, then it was stated categorically that admission would not be given to these people. Let me talk about Josh Afolabi. Yes, you were admitted, you got everything, you qualified, your result was high. But Josh, I want you to go look at your results. Go look at the list of people who applied, because they brought out everybody's name. Yes, Josh, if you can go to the letter, to the list, you would see that, if I'm not exaggerating, 80% of persons who apply to your department, they are Nigerian. How do I know? Look at it. If you look at the because they use identification number, okay, they did not use name. If you look at it, you will see B0. That B0, A0, they are Nigerians. And let me tell you what, one thing about Algav don't accept, Algav does not require legalization. Like, if you don't have a legalized document, you can apply, right? So some persons, a lot of persons applied. A lot of people, there are some will I say two sets of two groups, or two persons. There are people that they are waiting until their name is out before they can legalize. They want to be sure that they are accepted in a school before they would go about legalizing. They don't want to waste their money. And there are some said that, oh, I am determined to travel, I am determined to go study in this country, and so whether it comes out fine or it doesn't come out fine, I'm going to legalize my document. Yes, there are some people who legalized and some who do not legalize. So you will see that a whole lot of persons, especially people that did not legalize their document, applied to that school. So it means there will be a lot of competitions. That was what happened in that school. Look at the list. You see that if I would even say 90% are Nigerians that applied to the school. Yes, one, that they have their tuition fee is minimal. Yes, it's like one of the cheapest, not the cheapest, but one of the cheapest. And so a whole lot, just because I know they don't legalize their documents. So a lot of persons, like force. I was surprised. I went to one I saw a department, more than 100, in fact, more than 120 persons applied to this department, and 90% were from us. So you see, it means there'll be a whole lot of competition. And in that department, they wanted just 10. So if they want just 10, and you are seeing, I know someone who had 3.9, he was admitted, but no vacancy, just like Mr. Josh. It means if a Nigerian can have 3.9, you know what that result means. It means the person is even intelligent. It means the person did well. Okay, but the person was not even admitted because they have a whole lot of competitors. If after they have checked the result and the marking, the your grades, it doesn't work, they will start going to a whole lot of things, and I'm very sure that was why they had to take some people, and some you saw ANC, they call it admitado now Colorado, something like that, like admitted but not placed. That's the meaning in English. So you have opportunity in the second phase to apply. You must write to them. They wrote it, no, you must write to them. But then, if I would encourage anyone, yes, in as much as there's grace, you do that, I would advise you to look for other schools also. Although you can still go there, apply, reapply for this. You don't need to pay, but I would advise you to look for another school. And if you have legalized your document, there are schools that people you won't you won't you won't compete with a whole lot of people. People that apply to Algav, majority do not have legalized documents. I'm telling you that. I'm sure that was why a whole lot could not get admission. They said I should reapply for the second phase. Yes. But the second phase also, if you look at it, they have limited number. They will first of all take the number of persons they want to take before they will now look into the first phase. So my advice would be, if you have legalized your documents, there are schools that you can apply to. Okay, look for schools, even schools that have lower application fee. Um, I've very just finished. There's UTAD that if you have legalized the document, Mio have not started, they will soon start. Evora, there are lots of them coming up. Okay, if you're determined, if you think you're determined, there's one thing I tell people that come to me. If you're determined to chase something, don't give up. Yes, Algab is out, and I know a whole lot of those ones that were admitted but not given admission. They had good results. They had good results. I know someone who had upper credit for HND who was not given admission, and the person really, really did very well. If it was last year, these are people they give merit scholarship, because they would look at the first three sets of persons, and if it's written in that department that there is a merit scholarship, most people who were not admitted this year would have gotten it last year. But this year, a lot of persons are now moving into Portugal. And if you apply to Algab, check the identification numbers. You will see that majority they are from Nigeria. The B, and the number following it, they are Nigerians. They are people like you and I. Yes, they are, and you can see how many. How many? Like, I was opportune to check about four departments, people that screenshotted theirs to me, and I saw a whole lot of us there. It means we went there with force, and if these people say they are taking 10, they will not shake. They will take the 10 that they have said they will take. I remember that they can't just accept all Nigerians in the department. No, if they see lots of us coming like that, they can't make it. Yes, even if we have good results, good grades, they can't just accept only we in that department. No, they won't. They will consider Indians, they will consider Pakistanis, they will consider. Yes, they will. These are what they will consider them. They will not just take only one country. Yes, because we are no. So if you have legalized your document, I would advise that you look out for other schools. Other schools, there are lots of schools that you can apply to. Yeah, I know some persons also would go to Porto, and because some departments accept without legalization. But if you flood that place also, they will do like that. So those that have legalized documents, there are schools that if you don't have legalized document, they wouldn't even treat your document. So those that have legalized document, why not focus more? Yes, the advice is focus more on schools that, okay, you see Josh had 4.4. 4.4. If it's over 5, then it's almost first class. Yes, upper 2. This is very high. If Josh, you apply to a school like Averu, I bet you're going to be among the first 3 that will be given scholarship. Yes, I'm telling you that because your result is high. So if we flood, like people that have legalized documents focus more on schools that if you go and because people that don't have documents like legalized document, they will flood those schools that are requiring that, and you're wasting money. You're wasting application fee. You're wasting application fee because you're going to compete with a whole lot of people. They are not only using results, they will use your years of, if they have checked that your result is high, a lot of persons have high results. They will not look at, oh, your years of experience. Okay, let's use it to beat down some people. And when they look at it again, they will say, okay, let's look at the certification that this one have. They will start using it to beat down all of this. And that is it. So my advice number one is, if you have a legalized document, don't focus on schools that you are going to compete with a whole lot of persons. And I tell people, whether you're studying in an Algarve or you're studying in UTAD, it's same, it's same level. Like, I will not say Avero is more better than their school. No, it is not. Because if you can change from one school to the other. I had 4.09 last year. I was not placed even after reapplying for second phase. You see what Lafon TV said? Because do you know the reason? Because a whole lot of persons look at, if you think I'm not telling the truth, go to the identification, because they use your number, 1, 2, 3, the list of number, and they now use identification number. They did not use name this time around. You will see that majority it's from this set of countries. And also for those who are, I'm thinking, I'm not saying this that is true. For those who have HND, for those who have HND, I'm thinking that, I'm not saying it is. Oh, did you hear what I said? I said I'm thinking that they used over 5 to grade them instead of over 4. So those ones who were having high mark for HND. And one thing is, I think, will I say our government, our country is causing, will I say is causing a whole lot of harm? Because some schools, take for example, University of Ibadan, is over 7. Their grade is over 7. Most university it is over 5. And now Polytechnic is over 4. Okay, tell me, if they want to grade now, will you now okay, take for example, if a professor, someone who is checking your script, your document, analyzes one university over 5, over 5, over 5, it will just assume that every one of them is over 5, because in Portugal, in Europe, not even only in Portugal, in Europe, it is over 20. They use the grading scale is 1 to 20. In Nigeria, we have 1 over 7, we have 1 to 7, we have 1 to 5, we have 1 to 4. So they I don't know. They get tired easily. Oh, this is crazy. That's what you just hear them start saying. So people who polytech people who graduated with HND, imagine them having over 4, and you are now using 5 to divide their mark. It means you are putting them. It means they are either putting them down. And I wouldn't blame the person. I think I will also blame our country, because if it's standard, if take for example, I write after submitting, I now write a letter that in Nigerian university we are the grading scale is 1 to 5. What do you expect? That person will just feel. Oh, so in Nigeria, it is over 5. It's already registered in that person. So if the other person doesn't write to go and give them, oh, you're from Nigeria, okay, let me divide over 5. Imagine. Then the person will just be there. Oh, I know I'm going to be accepted. I graduated with, not knowing that your mark. I'm just thinking that way, but because I know that is what might have happened. Okay, so if you have legalized documents, the best advice is look out for other schools that you are not going to compete with a whole lot of persons. Okay. Yes, yes, Chisom, yes. And also, Chisom, I'm not disputing that fact. Chisom said someone had 2.7 and got admitted. It also depends on the department. Imagine philosophy, for example. You can't compare department of philosophy to department of management. Okay, management, a lot of persons would apply more. I'm not saying philosophy is not a good course. I'm just saying that a whole lot of persons, there will be more population in that department compared. Yes, even a third class can apply and the person will be admitted in some departments, because some departments are less competitive. It also happens in Nigeria also. So the departments like electrical electronics, you should know that department would be hot. Okay, departments like data science, you should know that that department would be hot, because a whole lot of persons would apply to that department. Okay, so I'm not disputing that fact. Okay, I have 3.94 last year, but Avero did not give me admission. Third phase. Oh, no, no, no. Mr. Olufunsho, third phase mostly is meant for those who are in Portugal for Avero, and you would see some department would write it there. It is meant for people who are, even if you're an international person, but you are already, because if you are in Portugal already, there is this number, they call it NIF. You will already have your NIF and you will include your NIF inside, so they know you are in Portugal. Okay, so I don't know about it, Mr. Olufunsho. Mostly third phase. If you go to the department, it's a clause. They will put it there. It's for those who are in. It's meant for people who are already in Portugal. Okay. Okay. You are very right. Yeah, Mr. Josh, if you check, you will see that the identification number is from us. Check it and you will see if you are accepted, and you will see ANC almost. And if you watch, you will see that we were like Nigerians were qualified, like we have the result. If the department is competitive, then I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Yes, so focus more on other schools, okay? And okay, I'm going to read out some questions that some people asked. So there are some schools that are currently on. You can apply. Would you recommend a school with agriculture? Mr. Patrick, I'm so sorry, it's not only you. A whole lot of persons were humbled. A whole lot of persons. Don't look at it that you're not. You can try other schools. Okay, try other schools. There will be other schools. There are other schools that their tuition is even cheap. Try other schools. If you have, I saw info related to English. No, I saw. Someone said, I saw info related to English proficiency on Avero and Mio. Please, is it a requirement for Nigerians? No, no, we don't. We don't. Um, Wherever they ask for English proficiency, Usually I advise people to just write a short note. If you cannot get a letter from your school, you can just get a letter from your school, let them write that all your courses were taught in English, and you can you understand and you can speak English very well. If your school can give it to you, then fine. If your school cannot give it to you at that point, because there will also be a place and where you are to upload that English proficiency, you can just write a short note. Oh, my name is Doris. I'm a Nigerian. We, I'm an that's you're an English speaker. We're colonized by the British, and we don't usually they don't usually request for so much. Bible. I really appreciate your effort. Thank you so much, Mr. Funshaw. Is it is it easy? Is it is it easy gaining admission into Portuguese thought program as an English speaker? If it's for masters, you can they give admission. They give admission to you in being an English speaker. Okay, they'll give you admission, and when you start the program, they already know, and some of them they would have known your name by the time you'll be resuming. By the time you resume, you'll be surprised that they'll just call you, oh, um, uh, Olusegun, you're an English speaker. They will try to speak English with you, and they already know. And majority of them, most times, the professors have their lecture notes in English, so they will make provision, and if they don't, they will make provision, and they are always concerned. They are concerned about you. They wouldn't want you to be left behind. They try their best. Some of them can speak English. The majority of the professors can speak English, but it's just that in the class, if they've written that it will be taught in Portuguese, they like sticking to that rule. But during my own time, there is this course. Virtually everyone understands Portuguese in my class, English in my class, and the professor asked the student, because of me, can the teachers just start teaching in English? And everyone agreed, and the teacher taught that course. The professor taught in English, and I was able to cope very well. I am Adesola. I have HND marketing. Do they accept it for master or PGD in Portugal? HND, they accept HND in Portugal. Okay, if you know any school that you want to apply to, you need to you can apply. You can apply, and they don't reject it. Good evening, ma. Can I apply for bachelor in English language? Can I apply for bachelor in English language? Are you trying to say if there are English taught course in bachelor? Most Portuguese, no, most schools in Portugal will teach in Portuguese for bachelors. Majority, like 90, let me say 97% of schools is Portuguese, because it's one of their policy, okay, for BSc. It's just few schools, like you can just pinpoint them that, oh, some department, not schools, just some department in some schools. Well, thank you. Majority of the courses in Poro are taught in Portuguese, even at PhD level, especially medical related course. Yes, MOE. Yes, it is true. So let's help her finish. So it's just few schools, and if you check ISCTE, I think it's either one or two departments, and it's management courses. Then ISEG, ISCEG for bachelors, It's just accounting, management, and economics that they have in English. And their tuition is around, I think, around 7,000. Okay. And also Nova School. They have electrical, electronics, or is it computer? They also have it in English, and their tuition is 7,500. Okay, for masters, for bachelors. So Emilie said, "Thank you, but the majority of the courses in Poro." In Portugal, taught in Portuguese, even at PhD level, especially medical related courses. Yes, medical related courses, accounting, accounting, any course that you have to deal with their people, they are being taught in Portuguese. They don't joke with accountants. If you studied accounting, it's a sellable course here, because before before you can have a company like that, you need an accountant. So the accounting course is mostly, check most schools, you will see that they teach it in Portuguese. Okay, because you must know, tax now. You pay a whole lot of tax here. Isaac said HND is not acceptable for masters. Oh, Mr. Joe said Isaac said HND is Isaac said HND is not acceptable for masters. I would even say, instead of going to Isaac, there are other schools that you can apply to, because Isaac, I know it is their tuition, it's not friendly at all. Yes, man, like algebra or algebra for bachelor, like English literature to improve my English. Would even apply to University of Alberta with legalization, or do I with legalization, or do I authentication? Hope I am on the right. Yes, Mr. Benjamin, if you have legalized your document, not authentication. Authentication is different from that legalized. Oh, I don't have a copy of legalized document. I would have shown you. That stamp of the embassy is what is called that. That is what is the difference between university and polytechnic in Portugal. University and polytechnic, they have, if you graduate from university, they give you, if it's BS, if it's undergraduate, they give you bachelor's. Okay. Also in polytechnic, they give you bachelor's. Unlike in Nigeria, they'll give you bachelor's for university. Then for HND, they start giving you, what do they give? Higher national diploma. For polytechnic, they give, in Portugal, they give same results. The only difference is university, just like in Nigeria, in university, they are more theoretical, while polytechnic, they are more into practical. Okay, so it's still the same thing, the same number of years, three years for 3 years for bachelor's and 3 years for polytechnic. Okay. So some persons would say, um, can I cope if the course is being taught in Portuguese? The truth is, it's not going to be easy at all. It's just like your you that you can talk. Like, take for example, someone who, it's just like noise. They are teaching Portuguese in the class. You're just there. You don't understand anything. You don't understand, except you're going for, maybe you're going, even I did mathematical course. I read medical statistics, and sometimes I'm in the class and I'm crying. my eyes are red because I'm not getting it. I'm not coping. I'm not, imagine you being looking at yourself like you are in Nigeria, you know yourself, you know what you're capable of getting or doing. And you now come to a place you don't understand nothing. The language is confusing, and it's not going to be easy. But then if you can manage for the first 3 months, it's not going to be easy. But the moment you can manage to get grip of it, we are always better. The moment you get just grip like this, you are a don. And during my own time, I was not getting anything. But the moment I got grip of it, I was even my results. I was able to qualify for the scholarship, because in Portugal, if you get, I think, 14 over 20, you have access. You're qualified to for scholarship. Yes, you're qualified for. So you'll not be paying the normal tuition that you're paying. You now start paying um the national. Okay. What the courses? You start paying like the national. So try your best. It's not going to be easy because of the language at the initial time, because then in Nigeria we are more of into, will I say, theoretical? Yes. But when you come down here, if you don't have your laptop, you have to bring your like virtually everything they do is computerized. They have um they have programming for like virtually every of their courses. They have programming language, and you're coming from a place whereby they just teach you theoretically, and they are now coming down your you know once you're studying in Portugal, the truth is, if it's study that you are for, you will not have time to work, because the assignment they give alone, it's it's overwhelming. And that's why you see some people, when they come, you now find out that they cannot cope anymore. They can't take all the full courses. And what they do, because they need to work and study, what they do, they now begin to, you know, in Nigeria, you can't, if you want to, like in Nigeria, you cannot say, I want to choose one course, I want to do one course and leave the other. No, they will tell you to do, you must do everything, otherwise you fail. But here, if your brain cannot carry all, you can go to your department and inform them that you want to take, I want to take two courses for the moment. I can, they allow you to break your courses, and you see that you perform well. And one thing I've come to realize is you 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 do well because you are not overloaded. Okay. And even if you repeat a course, you fail a course, and you now start doing carryover. I don't think I've heard anyone doing carryover. The thing is, you are given opportunity to repeat the exam. Like, I think about 3 times you repeat the exam. But what will you be waiting for to repeat the exam 3 times? So after 1, 2, you are going to catch up and you graduate. Good evening. I'm already a resident in Schengen, but I did my bachelor's in Nigeria. Do I still need to legalize my document for master's application? Yes. Um, um, the legalization at the back of anyone who legalize, you see, they will write Embassy of Portugal. So if you are in Austria, I think they'll write Embassy of Austria. So Embassy of Portugal is different from Embassy of Austria. So if you do that, you're still going to do again. Yes, so writing exam should also be done in Portuguese. No, you are not going to write your exam in Portuguese. You are going to write your exam in English for masters. Okay? You're going to write your exams in English. So writing exam should also be done in Portuguese. for Portuguese taught program. No, it's not going to, you are not going to write your exam. In fact, your professor, they will print your paper, exam paper separately. You're going to write in English. You're not going to write in Portuguese. Okay. So writing okay. Thank you. Please do a video on PhD application, especially in University of Porto or Nova University. Actually, a lot of persons have said I don't talk about PhD. PhD. Yes, because PhD is the same way you're applying, but I'm going to create a time that I'm going to fully talk about PhD in Portugal. But my husband will do more on that because PhD, they stand a chance of getting scholarship. Yes, that's why I don't really talk. They stand a chance of getting scholarship more than um, masters or BSc. Thank you, Bayobi. I have HND in hospitality management. So, okay, I want to talk about a whole lot of persons would quickly would quickly and apply for tourism, hospitality management, hospitality management. If you're my sister or you are my friend, and I see you that you want to apply to these three departments, I'll quickly beg you not to apply to to that department. Why? Tourism in Portugal. Portugal is a is a tourist country. They thrive more there in that field. A whole people want to study tourism, a whole persons. So they are competing in that department. Management also, there are competitions in that department. And that was why Alga put a clause. After everything, there is a clause there that if your school is not listed in Times, I made a video on that and I showed you the website where you can insert. Is medical statistics available in Aveiro for masters? Yes. As a matter of fact, I think I broke the record in Aveiro. Yes, they said is medical statistics available as a course in Aveiro for masters? Yes, and I think I broke the record in that department because I think I was the first English speaker there, and after I left, I saw some other persons coming to that department, and I think it's now like going on now. Okay, so if you're coming for it, I think they will have the lesson notes from me. Yes, so your opportunity to do that, to apply to that department, it's an interesting course. It's just like data science. You're applying for data science. Can you list university in Portugal that offer an MSc in accounting taught in English with relatively easy admission requirement? Mr. Logic, like I said, that accounting in Portugal is like hot cake. I mentioned tourism. Okay, I said accounting in Portugal would be taught in mostly are taught in Portuguese because it's one of the courses that um, just the way they respect lawyers here, accountants, and medical personnel. These three minus ITO, ITs, they all. But these three departments, most of their courses, if you check, most of their courses are in Portuguese because of I don't know, but I feel you're paying a whole lot of tax here. in Europe. And so I think they want their people to know how to calculate tax. So most schools will teach it in language language, and schools that will teach it in English, check out if the schools are expensive. If you check ISCTE, they have accounting and control something. It's in English, and I think their tuition is 7,000 naira. Okay. You can check ISEC. I think just check schools like that in 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 Lisbon. But I know ISCTE have accounting and control something management is in English. Check that school. And remember, I told you something about ISCTE. Okay, ISCTE is a very good school. It's a very good school. Okay, but I would say one thing I don't like about it. I don't know about you. I don't know about you. I'm just talking about myself. If a school, take for example, Algav have three sets or four. They will tell you, oh, third phase, we are not taking anybody. So it's three phase. And there they will just tell you about how many persons they will take. So it's defined. But in ISCT, you have five, six, seven phases. And it means uh, 200 persons will apply at first phase. I'm saying 200. It's not 200, it's more than. Yes, because you don't need legalized document. 1 million persons will apply, and at the end, they will take two or three persons. The next phase, day, the following day again, they start another one. That is why that's what I would not advise my any of my sister or brother to, I see it like I don't know, but I see it that they are just out there to if you want to take two phase or three phases, just take it and let people remove their eyes from it. Not if 300 persons apply in the first phase, when they see their name did not come out again, they will try the second phase. Other persons will join. You are having 400 persons applying. You see, I would rather run away from that kind of school. I'll not apply to that school. I'll try other schools that will, even if it takes me learning in Portuguese. I don't care. Please, I would like to study textile design knitting. Do you suggest a vocational school, or do you have an idea of school best for this kind of course? It's a skill I love to get. Point it out. Well, I don't like talking about vocational school. If okay, I just like analyzing. I like analyzing everything. Okay, there are some words I will not use here because it's public. Okay, if if okay, let's come to visa application time. Yes, usually when you apply for a 1 year course, when we came during our time, when we came, if you apply for a year course, when you come down here, you will apply for a resident permit and you will be given. Okay, but of recent, we now see that some persons that their courses, when they apply for 1 year course, they give them a year visa, 1 year visa. So if you're given a 1 year visa, then there is no need of you applying for a resident permit, because if you come down, you would hardly see dates. You will not see dates to even apply for a resident card. But someone coming for a master's program, they'll give you a 4 month visa, and when you come down here, you can now they'll put a date when you can apply for your resident card. So I feel that one is easier than applying for a vocational course, and you're giving me a 1 year visa. Then you're telling me that I shouldn't get a residence permit, because before you would even get it, you just find out that the visa with you is almost expired. And when you go, they either extend of which you still have a valid visa with you. So what are they giving? They'll be like, you don't need a resident card. You don't need a resident permit. Then you now start seeing that person now start looking for how to apply to a court, because by the time you are finishing, your residence card is expired and you're expected to go back to your country, or otherwise you start taking another course, and you know what it is. Hello sis, please, is there getting admission into engineering course so easy? Civil engineering precisely. Yeah, it's I think if you have a legal, like I said, Uduak, it is only there are no there if you have a good result, you would be given I think you'll be given admission. It is now when you are now going to those schools that do not, like, schools that do not require legalization. Okay, some schools will tell you, oh, we don't require legalization, like schools in Lisbon, ISCT, most schools in Lisbon, you can apply, then later submit. Okay, when you have a whole persons who do not have legalized document, they apply. You see that there are more than 100 in a department, and they are just taking like 5 persons. That's when there is competitions. Because this year, it amazed me. I saw a department that about 120 persons, about 90% are from our country, and they did very well. Please, how can Kenya apply Portugal study? I saw somewhere saying the only port embassy that accepts visa application is only in Zimbabwe. I'm so sorry, Engineer Liban. I think somebody dropped um, how to go about it in my. I don't know whether it's my mail. I'm going to put it out for you guys, for Kenyans. I'm going to put it out so that you can go about it. And also, if you're watching and you're in Kenya and you've done something like this, or you're from Uganda, you have how to go about it, or you've passed through it, you can put it you can send me a mail, and I'll put it out so that your fellow persons can go can do it also, just the way you were able to do it. Help your brother and also help your sister so that they can find their bearing. Does University of Lisbon need legalization before application? Yeah, there are some departments that don't even, no, they don't, that don't require that you legalize, and that's University of Lisbon. Okay, some departments don't ask for it. If it's mandatory, you see it there, it will be stated categorically. But it's not as if they don't need a legalized document. I think the expiring date is October 31st, and by that time you're already here in Portugal. Okay, I see the application is open, but it is expensive. Yeah, I think some pay 70 is pay in higher than. Okay, someone is asking, is pay in Coimbra higher than? I think usually in Coimbra, it's their science inclined that is expensive. I think other departments are fair. So also Mio, University of Mio, um, University of Mio, their their the University of Mio, their science, their engineering courses, science courses are very expensive compared to the management courses. The management courses are, I think, less cheaper. You can get one of 2.5, you can get one of 3,000, 3.5. Okay. Unlike their sciences is as high as 7,000 naira, 7,000 euros. Okay, bye. Okay. So also those that apply to Algav, yes, you can also look out for when they will do their second phase, but I tell you, don't wait for the second phase. If you think you want to come, try and apply to other schools, okay? Try and apply to other schools. Like there are some schools that have not even started application. Mio have not started, okay? Evora have not started, and okay, they've not started. So you still have, is there application fee involved in Portugal, and how easy is it to find jobs in Portugal? Yes, I know a lot of persons want to know how easy to find job. The truth is, it is not easy. It is not easy to get job, but I usually tell people that the moment you get your resident card, when you get your resident card, then you can, at least there is this burden that leaves you, because once you get your resident card, you, I don't know how to put it, you can now walk, like you can now be confident of yourself. Like, okay, like some persons might not, would not mind to go and work in a factory. Okay, since the truth is the pay is same whether you're working as a remote, whether you're working as a customer support, or you're, if you're working, they pay you the same minimum wage. The only difference is the feeding allowance. There'll be any organization you work for, they give you your feeding allowance in any company, whether you're working in factory or you're working from home. Okay, that is the difference. And there is this bonus also that they give. But the truth is, the minimum wage you accept, you get almost the same thing. And that is why you can see even a cleaner can drive almost the same car with someone who is in the who is working on site, who is working in an office or working from home. Okay, someone has an admission offer from the university and also from University of Aveiro. Which school should the person consider the most, considering accommodation and cost of living? Algarve and Aveiro. Algarve, Faro is area where the British and the Americans, that's where they reside. It's like um, Maitama of Nigeria, of Abuja. Okay, so I think you should expect what will come out from that side, because um, it might be fair for a single, for someone who is not coming with his or her family. You know, for students, you have shared apartments. Let's say you have a 3 bedroom. The 3 persons will share, and there are some in your room, in the same room. 2 persons can stay in the same room. Okay, but if you're married and you're coming with your kids, then I think I might not advise, I don't know, but I won't advise that area, that area. But then there are also outskirts where you can stay. the countryside where you can also live. Even Avero is also an expensive area also. I live in Avero also, and for 2 bedroom, you can get 2 bedroom around minimum like 800 to 1,000 for T2. That's 2 bedroom. That's 800 to 1,000 euros per month. So you see, it's also expensive also. But I think Algarve would be more expensive. Do I have chance of getting admission? So for job, you will still look for job, but the truth is, once you have a resident permit, I'm sure you can now decide if you want to wait for, maybe you want to do a work with a factory, or you want to start submitting. It's not like places where you'll be walking up and down to submit your CV. No, you don't walk up and down to submit your CV. You submit online. Online, that's how you do your submission. Except you want to work in a factory and then you start going from one factory. They have lots of factories in Portugal. So in each city there should be factories there, and if you're not patient enough to wait um for an office work like customer support, because majorly that's what people do here. That's English support, because we are English speaker. Okay, let's say we understand Portuguese, it would have been a whole easier to get, like, maybe get to work in an office. Otherwise, you are there submitting CV for call center jobs. Okay, do I have higher chance of getting admission if I apply to the University of... Okay, someone is asking, higher chance do I have higher chances of getting admission if I apply to the University of Lisbon? The fees are 7,000 euros. Yes, I said it, for sciences, and they have lots of courses but taught in Portuguese. If the tuition is 7,000, people will not go rush there. People will people will not rush there. Let's Okay, take for example, if Algarve the tuition was, okay, let's say 5,000, 6,000, many persons would not even apply there. It's because the tuition is cheap, like it is affordable. That's why you saw a whole force. People went there with full force. Okay, if you think, but if I have that 7,000, I would be patient and look for an English taught course. Yes, Emeji, be patient and look for English taught course. If you're going to pay 7,000 naira for that course, you'll see there will not be much population. People will not rush to that department because the tuition is high, and if I pay 7,000, I will not look for course that will be taught in Portuguese. I will look for an English taught course, because people will still not rush to that department, to that school. Can you give a step-by-step guide for someone who wants to apply from Nigeria? I think I have a clear video on that. If you want to apply from Nigeria, the first thing you need to do is to get your transcript and your certificate ready. I advise that you go start the legalization. Once you start it, then if it's done, then once application starts, you apply to a school. And do you know, even those ones that don't legalize their documents, do you know, when you want to apply for visa, you will still, your documents will still be checked. It will still be verified, even if you don't want to legalize. But that process of you taking it to Ministry of Education and Foreign Affairs, you're still going to do that, and you're still going to submit your document at the embassy. The embassy will verify. And how will they verify your result? They'll send your result to NUC, NUC to your school back to NUC, NUC back to your school. So you will still pass through that process. So when those who have legalized, they submit their visa, and under within 30 days their visa result is out. You that you submitted at the same time, your own might be taking like 2 months, 2 months plus 3 months. You have not seen your result. Yes, because it is still undergoing that process that you refuse to do when others were doing their own. Yes, they will still verify your result. Even if you don't want to legalize that stamp at the back, they will still verify your result. So even if you are applying for a vocational course, embassy will verify something. They want to verify. They will check your result, because you must submit a result. If you're coming for study, you must submit a result. I will appreciate if your husband can do the PhD application in Portugal, since we are in admission season in Portugal. This will truly help. Yes, I'm going to speak with him on that. Between Agave and Bureau, which of these cities have more prospect for getting jobs for an international student? Hey, Mr. Chiso, job, job, job. The truth is, after COVID, after COVID, majority of persons work from home. Even if you get a job, maybe an office job, you get a job. After 1 month, 2 months, you stay in the office, they'll tell you, oh, Doris, you have to work from home now. Okay. Once you work after 2 months at site, they tell you you have to work from home. And that is it. Okay. So in Algarve, and I think Algarve will have more hotels. They'll have more hotels in how in at that side, because because of tourists. Okay, so I think they have more hotels there. Then in Aveiro, what I can tell is there are lots of factories, fishing companies. There are lots of because Aveiro is by the Atlantic. Yes, so they have lots of factories there. But for Algarve, they have they will have more hotels because of it seems the major university in Lisbon and Porto don't do 10 installments for international students. Porto will do 10 installments. Porto do. But Lisbon, as a matter of fact, I think IISCT will even tell you to pay all. Will tell you to pay all before you're accepted. So if you think you don't have the money, don't just apply. Some people will just want to try let them be given. If you are given the admission and you cannot pay, don't apply. Don't use your own to block other people's own. If you know you cannot pay the tuition, don't just waste your money. There are other schools that you can apply to that their tuition are way, way cheaper. A lot of persons don't want to apply to IPB. IPB, their tuition is one of the cheapest. No, after you had IPB, okay. But the only thing is just that in IPB, you have to pay 500 euros, and a whole lot of persons will run. Do you know majority of people who apply to that IPB, Instituto Politécnico de Bragança, okay, that school, the intake is usually high. I don't know why. But a whole lot of persons say, oh, they say I'm going to pay 500 euros, and because it is not refundable, a whole lot of persons will run away from there. Yes, because People are running away from the just few persons that apply, and they are taking. And one thing is, this life is risk. Okay, it is risk. Some people don't want to even show any commitment at all. Okay, for example, IPB is saying pay €500 for the starting, they verified. For those who have legalized their results, if you think you can, you want to apply and you have done it, why not try it? Try it. I have seen some persons who even applied to a school and they were not giving back all the money they paid also. But why not try that school and see? You are accepted, you have, at least you have an average result. You apply to that school, you pay the money. The truth is, I've not seen anyone who applied to that school, but people run away because of that €500, and you see some people will apply to 5, 6 schools. Calculate the money. Calculate the money and see if it's not even equivalent to that money that you are expected to pay. And you pay once and you're taking. Coming with your family to reside in the Algarve in place like. Oh, can you hear what Mr. David said? Please, you guys should listen to what Mr. David said. He said, it's crazy coming with your family to reside in the Algarve. Can you see that? In places like Qatar, Qatar, Portimao, Albufera. Okay, rent is 400 to 1,200. Places like Lorle, Olia is still okay. For Faro is crazy. So people who are asking Mr. Wu was asking about Algab. You can see what someone who is staying there is saying. It's crazy. Okay. So learn from what people are saying and you find wisdom in that. What about those that want to apply for degree? Do they need to get any other result apart from WAEC result? For those who want to apply for undergraduate, okay, if you are above 23 years, find out what the instruction of that school says. Some schools will tell you you're going to write an exam. So find out what that school is saying. Some schools will not even, they just want you to, they want to test, they want to know if you still have that thing or if you still have something upstairs too. So there are two stages, two groups from less than 23 and 23 upward. Okay, so 23 upward, find out what the school is saying about that exam. Most schools would always have time and period that they do their application. So find out what the school is saying about that if you are applying for bachelor's, and know that it's going to be in language. It's just few schools, few departments that will teach in English. Do you advise someone to take a course taught in Portuguese if English taught are not available? Your exam will not be done. You will do your exam in English. Your question paper will be in English. Your course material would also, some professors will do it for you in English. Okay, your course materials will be in English. And even if they don't, there is an app that we use, is called Online Doc. That's where we translate all our um, documents. You can also use Yandex, okay, to, so even if the course material is given to you in Portuguese, you can translate it, but know that you're going to write your exam in English, okay? You are not going to write in Portuguese. So Jackie said, I heard I'll be going off very soon. Okay, let me take two more questions. I heard Mio takes application without legalization. Yeah, there are, but not all departments. Political department, political department will ask you for legalized document. People who read English communication line, they would um, they will request for legalized documents. Which department again? Ah, some departments would ask you for legalized documents, while some would not bother you, but it will be written that you must submit when you come down to Portugal, and that's before October 31st. Okay, yes. Okay. Okay, Faro is expensive, like Biobi mentioned, but it's fair for a single person. Yes, it's fair for a single. If you're coming with your family, please and please, so that you are not stranded, look for area. Like I tell people with family, uh, look for area that they are. I made video where I talked about accommodation. It is real. It is real. Check Idealista. Check Idealista. Idealista will show you one or two, will show you an idea of what accommodation is. I'm going to type it here so that you can see. It will tell you idea of how much accommodation is in that area that you are going to. Okay. So if Idealista will tell you idea of how much your accommodation that you are going to pay is. So if you are a single person, if you are single, you know, you can deal with, it's only you can manage. There are people that in their room, they are two in a room. But in Avero here, they've there are people that stays too, but you hardly see it compared to like places like Lisbon. you know Single person can manage. Okay, I tell people, if you're coming with your family, go to areas that check Idealista, that you can manage. Go there, manage. If the man now gets there and now say, oh, I want to look for a job, you can easily leave your family there at that place and go, like maybe if it's Lisbon, if it's Porto, if it's anywhere, you can stay maybe with someone, and you share the bills, the accommodation, than all of your family moving to that area. When you move, there'll be a lot of regrets. There'll be a lot of I die no. So before you think of bringing all your family, I know I'm not an advocate of people leaving their family behind, but it's also wise enough that you prepare for that family before coming down. Otherwise, it's not easy. Do IPB offer masters using HND? Actually, I've not seen anyone who applied to that school with HND, but usual when I started applying for people with HND, we were thinking Portugal don't accept HND. That's what our mindset was. Until I told a student was forcing me to apply for her. And I told the student that, why not write to the school and tell the school that this is how Nigerian, this is how we grade our results, and tell them that HND is equivalent to bachelor's. Unfortunately, the girl applied, the woman applied to, it was even a viral. She applied to, that was the time, early time that we came to Portugal. And she was accepted. And that was how I told about three other persons also at that period, and they were accepted. So since then, it was now since then, when anyone tells me, oh, I tell the person apply. It's all about how you have presented. And whenever I apply for persons with HND, I usually write notes because there is always a contact, like a director's number there, email. I write a letter making them know that HND is equivalent to that. And some schools, they already know. Majority of the schools know. Like Porto knows about it, Avero knows about it, Algarve knows about it, Coimbra, lots of persons are applying. But I've not seen, a lot of persons dodge IPB because of that 500 euros. Okay, so I feel they will accept because it's a continuation. If you look at HND, 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, 400 level, what they do is to go and look at the courses and see that it's what they have also done. It is what they have in the bachelor's. Please talk more about proof of fund. Okay. Oh, please, I need to go. I need to go. I'm so sorry. For the proof of fund, I'm going to talk about it later. I need to go, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for how do students undo the requirement of proof of income and referee in getting accommodation? Okay, for proof of fund and referee in getting accommodation. If you're doing accommodation, don't if you're applying for visa, don't pay anyone for accommodation. You use hotel. People booking your flight, there are people that do it. You can talk to them about it, please. Talk to them about it. Don't pay anyone. If you go online and see someone maybe on Idealista, there are also fraudsters there. So don't pay anyone. You're going to use hotel. Okay, use booking.com, or you tell someone, the person doing your flight reservation, to do that. They do it. They reserve the accommodation and you pay some token. Okay. Yes, please don't pay anyone. A lot of persons have paid when they have not given you they've not given you a visa. Don't do that. Don't waste your money. Okay, when that time comes, I'm going to talk about it. And also for proof of fund, I'm going to talk about it. I think for now, let us focus more on getting the admission. That is the main. When it comes to proof of fund, we are going to cross over it. But then ensure that you have more than 10 million, if you're a single student, more than 10 million in your account. And it should be a busy account. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to lay emphasis on it because a lot of persons do mistake. Okay. I'm going to talk about it. It's something that we have to talk about. Yes, that proof of fund. Let it be a busy account and lots more. Portuguese dot courses, can airport translator be used during class? Somebody is asking, airport translator be used in class? Yes, if you want to use, yeah, you are free to do whatever you want to do. Okay, Efe Oluseyi, you are free. Like, even if you are playing music in the class, as long as you are not doing it loud, making it, you relate with your professor like you're talking to your mate. Okay, like you're free, you have access to them. Okay, if that thing would help you understand, please do. Okay. Okay, yes, most schools. Pascal is asking, hi, does IPB accept students who have not yet graduated but in their final semester? All Mr. Pascal, all schools accept that. Okay, most schools accept that. Like you are in final year and you want to apply for masters, yes, most schools accept that, but I think they will give you a deadline and you must state it when you are applying. They give a deadline when you must bring your results, and most schools accept that you are still in, or you are still doing your undergraduate and you're applying for masters. Okay, thank you so much, and thank you so much for joining me. If you have not given a like to this video, what are you waiting for? That's the only support you're giving to me. And yes, I've not been posting. A lot of person asked me, hey Bible, you have not been posting. I have a baby, yes, and that's why she takes most of my time, and you know I have to take care of her. That's one of our duty here in Portugal. You must take care of your baby, and yes, she takes most of my time, and someone is helping me to manage her, and that's why I'm able to do this video, this live. And thank you so much for those who have been supporting me. There are some that will come to my DM. Oh, Biobi, I hope you are fine. I hope all is well. Yes, I'm fine. I'm well. Everything is fine. It's just, having a baby. It's not like Nigeria where you have a lot of help helping you. Yeah, you do it all by yourself. And all of that. Thank you so much for joining me, and God bless you all. See you in my next video. Bye bye.